Okay, it's gonna be a little weird because you can see the reflection, but that's just how it is. This has like a mirror finish on the front. So this is the Need one. It's the 23 liter, 150 count. They're calling it an electronic humidor, but it's basically like a winador. If you've ever seen those, it's like a little wine fridge, but it's meant for cigars. So I've had this about a year. I never really thought to do a review on it, but it just sits here on my nightstand. So they make two different versions of this. They make a heated one and then a non-heated one. So this is a non-heated one. So it will only keep your cigars cool. Like right now I have it set at 64. It will not heat them, which these are meant to be in an already air conditioned or heated space. A lot of people don't realize that and have problems with them, but you can't really put it in like a basement or a garage or anything unless it's already heated and cooled. So if you live in a colder climate, like more up north, you would probably get the heated one. Heated one's a little bit more expensive. This one's $159 right now on Amazon. So again, I've had it for about a year. I've had no issues with it. This thing is super quiet. Like I do hear it run every once in a while, but it's just like a hum. And I was asking my wife and she said she's never heard it run. So it's super handy. It is kind of big. I mean, it sits here on the nightstand and it's fine, but I got a tape measure here. So it is, it's a little under 10 inches. It's almost 10 inches wide. And then it is 20 inches long and it is 17 inches tall. So it is meant to be freestanding, as where you're not really supposed to build it in like into a bar or anything just because it needs the ventilation. And then you can adjust the temperature up and down. It does have like a lock. I keep it at 64, like a lock for the controls. It does not have a key lock for the door. So if you have, you want to keep people out, that's your problem. I have little kids, so they don't really care. They, after the initial like looking at it, they're bored of it. But it does have a light here. See, the light is honestly kind of terrible. You can see that it's on. I'll open it here and I'll show you. So it's got the rubber seal, all the way around it. It keeps, let me show the light. It's like, okay. It keeps super, super good humidity. Like I don't have any issues with that. It did come with a digital hydrometer. So it comes with two of these shelves. I just can't find the other one right now. But one comment that somebody said was to get another box shelf, which is what I did, because they said unless you have a lot of like I have a lot of singles, I only have one pack here. And if you have a lot of singles, they kind of roll around on the shelf. So I added the extra box. That is an extra expense, but I think it's super handy and I like it. So it only took about 2 days to get to the right humidity, because it's basically a big plastic box. There is one thing though, you have to, there's like a drain hole on the bottom. You can see that tape back there. You have to plug that. Everybody in the comments, and I did a bunch of research on these, and everybody in the comments and on Reddit said to plug that hole. So I plugged that hole and I don't have any issues. I use the Boveda Packs. I actually just got these not that long ago. So I use the 69 and it keeps it right about 65, which is perfect for me. So I have about 55 cigars in here. It says it'll hold 150. I guess it would. I could probably fit more in the bottom. And then I have a bunch of room here on this top shelf. So one thing that's, I don't know about a negative or whatever, but you got to have the door kind of open all the way around, or the shelves and the drawers don't want to come out. And then like one thing that kind of bugs me is like the drawer like kind of falls out of the notch. So like it just doesn't want to go back in, but that's not really that big of a deal. I mean, you're not opening and closing this drawer 100 times a day. So it seems to work pretty good. I haven't had any issues with it. A lot of people say they don't last very long, but again, I've had it over a year. It sits here on the nightstand. It's quiet. So if you are into cigars, I think this is a great gift, or buy it for yourself. These are Spanish cedar, the shelves and the drawers, and then it's basically like a big plastic box. It just kind of keeps the humidity right. I know I'm probably like messing up everything by having the door open, but I'm trying to show the video. So right now it's $159, I think. They make a smaller one that's like a 16 liter, but the price difference between the 16 and the 23 liter is only like, I think, $20. So I feel like it was worth it to get the bigger one because it gives me more room. And then you can, just store more stuff. So you do have to, on these, you do have to provide your own humidity. It comes with like this little plastic, it's like a little square plastic container that you can put distilled water in if you want. But these aren't the bigger Boveda packs. Like these are the 60 grains. They make the real big ones and they make the real small ones. So I get 2 of these. And honestly, like I open this, you know, sometimes like, especially here in Texas in the summer, cigars are kind of hard to enjoy when it's, you know, 112 outside. So sometimes it doesn't get opened for a month or two. And these Bovedas will stay fine. But then if I open it, or, you know, I'm in and out a lot, adding stock or taking stuff out, they'll last. They usually last about 2 months, and then in the summer, sometimes they'll last 3 to 4 months. So I would recommend the Bovedas because there's no actual liquid in here. Like with that cup, I was always afraid that the liquid would fall and that would make a mess. And then one thing too, which is nice, is the drawers like have the slots so that it's like airflow. And then I kind of rotate stuff around. So I just keep one Boveda here and one here. You could basically put them both on the bottom, both on the top. It's whatever you want. But it's nice. It kind of keeps them aired around and stuff. And this just a, you know, kind of a, oh, you can't see that. Just kind of a variety of what I have. These two were actually when my oldest child was born. I bought these. So these are 8 years old. And these are great for like, if you're doing like long-term storage, you could get like the smaller one, you know, if you're not using it as your daily. But this is definitely a step up from those. I have a problem with those little wood humidors just because the humidity control is terrible. They don't seem, at least in my experience, they won't keep the humidity. Like you'll get it set right, you'll open it, you'll grab a cigar, you'll close it, and then the humidity's all off and it takes forever. Sometimes they take like weeks to get set up. Like I said, this thing took, I think it was less than 2 days to get the humidity set up, and I loaded it up right away. They say to let it sit and stuff, but I didn't have that. I waited, it settled at 65, and I just loaded it, and that's where I keep it. Sometimes it dips down to about 62, but some people like their stuff a little more. Some people like their stuff a little less. I find between 62 and 65 is where I like to keep it. And this works perfectly with the 69 Boveda packs. And then, you could, the thing with the boxes is like, I wouldn't probably necessarily put boxes in here. This one's just in a bag. I've been, you know, dipping into this. So there's some that are like the bag's open. So there's getting in there, you know. So I would say get one of these. If you're going to get a humidor, I would just get one of these. I wouldn't get those wood ones. I started with, let me close this now that we're done talking about that. I started with this, which is just like a jar I got from Walmart. It's like a glass jar with a rubber seal. I got it from Walmart. I keep the bands in there now. But this is basically what I started with, was just this. And this kind of got full. So I was like, I'm going to get something different. I had one of those wood ones way back in the day, and I just didn't like it. I got rid of it. That's why I switched to this. But then this got full, and I kind of got more into it. So I bought this, and I've been happy with it. I've had it over a year, almost a year, right about a year. So I will link it down below on Amazon. Check these out. This is the Need one. There's a bunch of different brands. This was the most popular brand that I could find. They make I think it's either a 16 or a 13. This one's 23. They make like a big one too. That's like a full-size cabinet that sits on the floor too. So check this out. You know, like, comment, subscribe. All the YouTube algorithm stuff would be much appreciated.